Here we go. Okay. Now, let me see where we're going to be. We are in the Birchas HaTefillah, the Bracha HaTefillah, where we're learning once again this concept called the Matbeah HaBracha, what actually happens when you make the bracha. So yesterday we went through the last year, we went all the way through these magic words. So we said, Baruch, we are, come on back over here, baby. It says, whoa, keep getting to the same place. Gotta be a Baruch here somewhere. There it is. So we went to the Baruch. We went through the Yehudim that take place in the Baruch, the generation of the Mochin. Then we see the Mochin here. Okay, and then we see at the end, I'm not sure what that was. He says, the Pana de Malchus, the Chachmas, the Chub, the Zivug Elyon, the Chabad, the Hagad, the Abba, the Yasos. Boy, that still doesn't read easy. We're going to the Yasos, the Abba. Over here, it's the Hagad, the Ima, the Tevuna. This is the Hagad, the Abba, the Yasos together. So this is the male force and the female force, and this represents their face or what they are. This is Abba also, and the combination of Abba and Yasos. And this is the Ima, the combination of Ima and Tevuna makes Ekya. I have to say that I never really thought that anybody was going to listen to these shiurim, and I'm very gratified that people can find an interest in the RASHASH like I have. I've been looking at this for a long time, and I'm thinking, well, I'm not ready to say this. I try to get involved in this. It's really over my head. So I'm thankful that people listen as well. Okay, then we go on down, and here's the Shalom. We're just pointing out some things that we see as the light is flowing downwards. We see the Mochin, we see the Mochin, the male side, the Mochin, the female side, and they wind up in this number, which is Ralav, which we've talked about before. You have to go through this. There are 3 different types of hayin that are produced here. There's a D, I call it the D, the Do, and the Vav, Vav, Vav. But at any rate, you can call it whatever you want. But these are different hays, and they add up to the number 232. Then we come back down to Zivuk Chitzon, the Naiv, the Hagad, the Abba, Ve'ima, and Yasos. Yasos and Abba, Ve'ima, and Yasos is a combination, and this is going to be their Yichud. From that, it's going to generation of these Mochin, they're not Mochin, these Oros. This is the Or of Chochmah, Bina, and Das, and then seeing it as a mob. Now, the mob is a Keser, is 4 letters. This is 10 letters. This is 28 letters. It's the same thing in all 3 lines. Also, in the end, it included the Milui. Now, let me see. Was that real quick, or I skipped something? I probably skipped something. So then we come to another magic word. The magic word is Ata. Yekavan the Zavug, Zivug, Elyon, the Chabad, the Chagat, the Abba, Ve'ima, Ve'yasa. So it's remember, we're always dealing with this Chagat. So if I didn't explain it well, and I'll try to find some, I have a sefer out here that's going to provide us with a lot of drawings to get us an idea of what we're talking about. But Chagat represents continence. It represents the stage, which is called Unica. After the birth of Zer Anpin, with the Nook attached to him, as they call it, a Basil Labar. I have a lot of things going on with my stomach right now. So it's normal, but unfortunately for a person my age, I guess. Yikavan the Zivug Elyon, the upper Yichud of the top part, which is the Chabad of the Chagat. Chagat, once again, represents the middle parts of the Abba, Ve'ima, Ve'yasos, and he shows you that. Then he shows you the Mochin of Sag. Then he adds in all the Ma'uben of Ma'uben and the 5 Chasadim. Then he comes up to the female Mochin, which is Kasa, Kamag, and Kana. Kasa, Kamag, Kona, the three of those. Then he brings it down, Yikavin Lahamshak mi Yisod the Zivuk of Minibi the Chaba the Haga the Iba the Vuna, Kol HaShever Shebos v'Hamisha Chasadim. So now we see all the names. This is Ab, Sag, Ma, Ben, Kasa, Kamag, Kane. All of this is flowing down. Where is it going? It's going here. Oh boy, I'm not helping anything here with these. I'm so involved. Let me come back over that again. So the kavana here is to lahamshech mi yisod from the yisod of the interior yichud. See, up above we had said, and the significance of it, this is a little bit lost on me, but he's telling me that's what it is. He says the yichud has the yud-ke, vav-ke on the inside. That's called the yichud benimi. So there's yichud benimi, there's a yichud chitzon. Here's the yichud benimi. And he says, again, going for the back, we're going to take the chasadim, not take it from V'yakavin l'chamshek miyisod the zivug of benimi the chabad the chagat the ima to devuna kol ha'asheva shemos v'chamisha chasadim. Now let's something here I didn't understand 100%. It says miyisod of the zivug hapanimi the chabad the chagat. Okay, it's coming from the Yisod, which is the production of the Yichud that takes place between Benibi, the Chaba, the Chagat, the Ima, the Devuna. This is on the female side. Kol HaSheva Shemos V'Chamisha Chasadim. So these are the 7 names of the Mochin on the right side and the Mochin on the left side, and then the Chasadim in the middle. And they go to this concept. Here's the last one is Kana, because everything is flowing into the bottom, which is the Malchus, which is also Kana on the female side. The Malchus, the Chaba, the Chagat is going to the Malchus, the Chaba, the Devuna. Shehu Tana gets the Gematria 455. Ubal Chamesh Gevuros, and this is where you find it 5 Gevuros. And you see Kasa, this Gevur on the female side, Kamag, and then the Hey Gevuros, and then the Kone. Now, this all supposes that everybody knows what Kasa Kamag Kone is and what Avsag Mahu Ben are. He actually shows it to you. So if you wanted to know what it was, it's actually in a pictorial form. Now, I found, I'm not doing that, but this, particularly, but as you just read these things or just look at them, they have an effect. So going over them is helpful. So he says the kavana here. Let's get back up to the top. The hamshek mab da'av. Now, what is the mab da'av? Umiluo me panim the teishes spheres elyonis de kochov, from the face of the 9 upper spheros of Kesser Chochma Bina. I think either he means that this kochov is a partzuf by itself, or he means each one individually, I don't know. Of Hachan, the Nahi, the right line of the parts of Kol Nahi, and Chagat, and also parts of Kol Chagat, which are aspects of the overall parts of which is called Chagat. So it's the Nahi v'Chagat the Chagat. The Abba v'Ima v'Yasos of this combined partzufim, Im the Ranchi, the Neranchi, the Nechi, the Chaya, the Ruach, going backwards. Ruach has within it in the Ranchi, and we're going to light up the Ruach of that Ruach. So he says the Chaya, and there's also a light called Chaya. These are the Ruach, the Chaya. And where's that Chaya located? It's located apparently in a parts of its own of light, which is called the Nechi, because the Nechi is the Shama, Chai, and Yechida. Those are the top parts of the light. The Neranchi, Im Yisro Saba Devuna V'the Ava V'ima. Now, here we see it. These are the auras coming from Chochma, because this is the Patach is Chochma. Keser, Chochma, Bina is a gematria of 42. So what it's doing here, I'm not really sure, but he shows it And that's what we're doing, just analyzing what he shows us. So this is the number 4, 10, 28 again, plus the milui, which is 46. Now, how the milui works, what it does for it, I don't have an answer to that. I just say that this is what is included when you say the word ato. Let me see, was that ato, or am I a little bit lost? Zachabamin milui, which is this one. I think I just saw that. So then you say the magic word Havaya. So he's now said Baruch Atah Havaya. We're dealing with the parts of Chagat. And he says, you say this word, Yekaven Lahamshek Mabdema Omiluo. We're going to see what it is down below in the picture. He says that Mabdema. So Mab also has, when you say Havaya, it gets you to Ma. Now, maybe the connection is here that Havaya is also known as, it's the manifest name of Zeranpin. And as a result of that, that you're dealing with Zeranpin once again is Chagat. Chagat Nai is what really is Zeranpin. Yekaven Lahamshek Mabdema, and here we're going to see the Mabdema. These are the oros coming down the middle line, and its Ma is in the middle line. So he says, Keser, Chachma, 4, 10, 14, and 28 letters represent Bina, exactly one inside of the next. And on the very outside of them is their Milui. So he says that's what happens when you say Havaya. Leponim, the Teshas spheres, and it's going to the front side, the face side, of the 9 upper spheros of Kochov, either as a partziv, like I say, or each individual sphera as a partziv. The Dati, which is the middle line, which refers to Das, Tiferes, and Yesod. The middle line of the Nai v'Chagat Hagat. Now we're to see this phrase so many times here. The Ma u ben de Ma, u Ma u ben de Ben, the Zun. So he says they're going to be the Ma part, which is the middle line of the Ben de Ma, the female side of the Ma, and the Ma u Ben, and male side, female side of the Ben de Ben, of the female of the female. Exactly, that is inclusive. Now we're coming over to this. I think we did this page already, but the thing is, every time I look at it, it's like I have to read it again because it takes time to sink in. So he says, "Yekavin lahamshech v'lahotzi mimalchus de zivug panimi de haba de haga de ima de devuna." So first thing we see is that there's going to be a yichud of the female aspects, that is ima, and her subparts of which is Tavuna. We're going to take out of the Malchus, the Zivug of Benimi, the Chaba, the Hagat, of that very, we said we're dealing with the Yichud of the Chaba, the Hagat. On the female side, the Ima and Tavuna. Tselem, what are we going to put? What are we going to produce here? Tselem, the Mochim, the Asmav, but Tselem, the Mochim, the Kasa Kamakana. Im Chug, together with the Chochome, the Chosadim, and the Gevuros. Im Neranchi, the Nechi, together with the complete set of lights of the sub-light section, which I guess is the parts of the light, which is called the Nechi. Which Nechi are we talking about? Of the Ruach of Ma Uben. Now, once again, we've seen the Ruach of these different kinds of ideas, but when we're dealing with Chagat and Nai, we're dealing with Ruach, because that is the basic Zeranpin. Zeranpin is a Ruach. So after this, Yekaven Lahamshichem Lahachan Bagadati, the Vok, the Tavuna, the Chagat, the Ma'u Ben Dezah. Well, we're going to take this to the Ma'u Ben Dezah, which is the male side of Zah and the female side of Zah. I'm going to go like this. We're going to v'achar kach. The kavanah should be to take this chabad, the chagat, the zah, and the yichud that comes out of it, the mochin that come out of this, the oros that come out of this, Lahamshichan lahachan bagadati, to take them to these directions of, or had to be considered. Lahamshichan lahachan bagadati, to the three different lines, and we're going to see the lines right here, or the three of them. Lahachan bagadati, the vok, the chabad, the chagat, the ma'u ben dezah, and it's going to take him to the vok. Before we're dealing with Malchus, I'm not sure which one is. I have to read it many times in order to be able to really follow this. Vok is also a concept of Ruach. Vok was also the concept of Chagat Nai. So he said the Hagan Bagadati, to the three lines of the Vok. He says there's just looking at the six spheres of the Chabad, the Chagat, the Ma'u Ben, of the top part of that middle partsuf, which is called Chagat, the Ma'u Ben Dezah. And now we see the lights, these lights flowing again. And we're going to see these combinations a lot. The question is the directions, and try to be able to understand it well enough to get the direction of where it's coming from and where it's going to. And I'm doing the best I can. The lights are like this is the light of Kesser. Chochmah, Bina, Das. Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod. These are the oros that are produced as a result of this yichud. Then he says, but the oros, which we've said before, is this concept of cold summer, kalim, levushim, slomim, which he mentioned incidentally over here. The slomim is another type of levush. Slomim, mochim, and oros. Oros being the most panimi side. So you went from the outside in. When you said kalim, that's the most outside part. And it's going over here, and these are the mochim. So we have the oros on the top. Let me get it back this way a little bit so we can see it. Oros on the top. They're going to be surrounded by these mochim. Inside of the mochim there are four mochim. We always say there's three, which is 1, 2. Excuse me, I got it right now. He says we always say that there are three mochim, which is Chochmah, Bina, Das. But Das splits. So let's go down and look at the split a little bit. The Das splits into Hey Chasadim and Hey Gevuros, which are two sets of, or 260, actually comes out to a gematria of 260, but each one of them is a 130, and there's a lot of different metaphors and things that are played off of the number 130. It's the word kal. It could be the word kol. It has a lot of different possibilities, and to a great extent, it refers to the building of Zeranpin. And then it comes down to the final two mochin, ma'u ben, and then we go to the female moach, which is going to come down, is going to be Kana. Kana is the bottom part. And this is what we got to. He says we're going to be right back here to this concept of 232 again, Roloff. If you took all of this and you added it up, considering there are three different types of haze that are shown to us here, it's going to come to the gematria of 232, and it's as if all of the light that's up above is flowing into this. Now, next magic word. The next word is going to be Elokeinu. Let's find it where it is in the picture there. Now, after Elokeinu, and I'm going to go back and look at just the drawing itself. You say this word. These lights, that is the light that is coming, this is from Bina. 1 second. I'll go back to the last word, Havaya. This is middle line. This is from Das. Ato. Okay, it's a little bit too hard for me right now in the time that I got to be able to work with this. So you say this magic word, Elokeinu. It leads to this. These are the Nekudos, the Tseri is the Kudo of Bina. And then it shows you in Bina the way that the 42 works. 4, 10, 28, 42. And then the Milui of the name Sag. Now that's what's coming down, and let's see what exactly he says about it, now that we know what it looks like, and we've seen it already, because the truth is that Av, Sag, Uma all of them have the same 42 within them. They have a 4, a 10, and a 28. So that, which is not the case by Ben, it's a different number. So he said, Yekave, Hamshech Mab Desag, here's the Mab Desag, we're going to dealing with this. So this is Mab Desag, Omuluo, and also it's Milui, because it's down here at the bottom. He said, the Tesha Spheros Elyonos, with the 10 upper spheros, the Kachav of the Keser Chochma Bina, which could either, as I said before, either mean the 3 partsufim, each one of them would be the Spheros Elyonos of the Kachav. So he doesn't specify which is the Spheros Elyonos, but it's Keser Chochma Bina. Keser Chochma Bina. He says Spheros Elyonos, the Kachav. Which Kachav are we talking about? Well, he says the Baga, the Nai, the Chagat, to the left line. Baga is the left line, Bina, Gevura, and Hod. The Nai of the Netzach Hod Yesod, and the Chagat, the Chesed, Gevura, and Teferes, are the parts of called Chagat. That's where it's going. So which Chagat are we talking about? So he adds that it's coming from Abba Ve'ima V'Yasos. That is the complete yichud of the male side and the female side. In the ranchi, then the ranchi, with the complete set of lights, of the complete set of rights. Understand that these are 5, and if you're going to talk about the ranchi, then the ranchi, you're going to get to 25, because each one of them is going to have this 5 in it. The nechi of the top 3 oros. The neshama, the ruach of the neshama, which is the penimios of the ruach, and then he shows us as we saw. So now we're just going to look at a little bit of the last one. The last one we're going to take in a different shiur. This one here, he says that where is it going? The panim, the teishes spheres elyonos. The Kachav to the very top part of the Baga, the Nai, the Chaga, of Nagi, V'Chaga, the Chaga. So again, we're going to get this phrase here, Nai, V'Chaga, the Chaga. We're going to get it a lot. What is it? The Nai, the Chaga. This is 6 spheros. It stands for Nai, the Chaga. Is Netzach Hod Yesod, Chesed Gevura Teferes, of what? The lower 6, in other words, the lower 6 spheros of the parts of Kol Chaga. On the male side, the Mas, Ben, and the male side, and the female side of the Ben, of the female side, the Zun. So seems like what he's saying about this too, about the Mas and the Ben. There's a Ma de Ma, and there's a Ma de Ben. There's also a Ben de Ma and a Ben de Ben. There's a mixture of these things mixed together exactly. So that's where we're going, bringing all of this down. And we finally get to this word, phrase, Melech HaOlam, and we will once again be talking about how we reverse this flow. We're able to bring the flow back upwards. So we brought the flow down to the bottom. Melech HaOlam, perhaps Melech refers to the notion of Malchus. It gets to the bottom and it comes up, but we'll be reading this and going through the flow of lights, as all of these are lights now. Let me see if I can get it back. We can see it. All of the lights that we're going to see tomorrow with the Mochi are going upward instead of downward. And as a result of that, it causes a Yichud Elyon, which causes the light to start flowing down. So here we have Mochi. We'll learn it. I'm not sure what it is. These are different ways of these are netzutzos. These are sparks being saved. They're all combinations of the number 72. So we'll get to that, try to analyze it. And then we see that this happens up above in the highest possible places. And then we're going to get over here to these different shiluvim, which indicate that there's a yichud coming down in every single parts of as a result of that. And then finally, we're going to get to the punchline of the whole deal, which is all lights, every single word that you said, b'mitzvosa, b'tzivano, and so on and so forth. All of them are going to have an effect. Well, this is Baruch Fleischman. You've been listening to, well, it's a little pitiful what I'm doing, but I'm going to try to build myself up and say that I'm really happy about the fact I'm able to do this. This is Baruch Fleischman, Tikkun Elevator, Kolon.